This is the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
The Holy Father Pope Francis went home to the Lord at age 88. The Holy See press office announced this morning that Pope Francis' funeral mass will be taking place this coming Saturday, April 26, at 10 a.m. Rome time in St. Peter's Square. We'll have much more details coming up momentarily. Now, 9 days of mourning are underway for Pope Francis. Church bells at Notre Dame Cathedral and from around the world rang 88 times yesterday in honor of the age of Pope Francis. Additionally, the Eiffel Tower's lights remained unlit on Monday evening in memory of the Holy Father Pope Francis after his death earlier in the day. The reaction has been pouring in from all over the world. And our very own Relevant Radio CEO, Father Rocky, joined us yesterday here on Morning Air to reflect on the pontificate and the legacy of Pope Francis.
How will he be remembered? I think he'll be remembered as the Pope of Mercy. Certainly he was an unconventional pope. He's the first pope in history who's ever taken the name Francis. There's never been a Pope Francis before. I wonder if there'll be a Pope Francis II. But he took the name in honor and devotion to that great saint of the Middle Ages from the 13th century, Francis of Assisi, who embraced a radical poverty. And because of that poverty and his concern for the lowliness, he really renewed the church back then. And Pope Francis continued a great innovation of St. John Paul II, really the first of the modern popes, who left the Vatican and went out to the world. And Pope Francis continued that. He went to places that no pope had ever been, for instance, Mongolia. But just like St. John Paul the Great and Pope Benedict, Pope Francis never realized what he really wanted to do, and that was to go to Moscow and to Beijing. Never got an invitation from Putin and never got an invitation from the Chinese to do that. That day will come, but we pray for that, and that's why we use mass media to reach out to the masses, whether it be on Relevant Radio, on network reaching close to 300 million people in this country, or through the internet. And then there'll be a lot of conversation about Pope Francis in the days coming up. And I was very interested to hear Father Kubicki, who himself is a Jesuit, and he said it very clearly. The Pope will be remembered as a Pope who was controversial and many times confused people. All right, so some people think he changed doctrine. Well, of course he didn't change doctrine. You can't change doctrine that was given to us by Jesus Christ, right? There's still 7 sacraments. There's still 10 commandments. There's still sin. There's still redemption. Jesus Christ still is the Son of God. He didn't change doctrine, but I would say he took a less rigid approach to enforcing it. And I think that gave people a lot of hope.
I want to bring in Glenn and Sarah. Hey, Glenn, the world continues to mourn the passing of Pope Francis. What's the latest this morning?
Yeah, we continue to learn more about what is next as the cardinals continue to meet with plans for the funeral and then getting the conclave underway. After that, the Holy See Press office did announce the funeral will take place again this Saturday. It'll be 10 a.m. St. Peter's Square. That'll be 3 a.m. Central Time early this Saturday. Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, Dean of the College of Cardinals, will preside. There'll be patriarchs, cardinals, archbishops, bishops, and priests from across the globe there. The Holy Father's body will be then taken to St. Peter's Basilica and then to the Basilica of St. Mary Major for entombment.
It's early in the morning here in the States on Saturday. It reminds me of 2005 and the funeral of then Pope John Paul II, which also began in the middle of the night for those of us here in the States. But they had about 1 million people in St. Peter's Square for that day, and I'm sure that they're expecting a massive crowd of people also for the funeral of Pope Francis. This entire episode of Morning Air is on the Relevant Radio app. The Relevant Radio app is completely free and updated daily with fresh articles, podcasts, and prayers. Don't delay. Download the app today, and thanks for listening.